All right, as promised, ladies and gentlemen, you may be familiar if you listen to this show. You may be familiar with the man known as the Miz, the former two-time champion of the world, the Miz. And by the way, Miz and Maryse, Miz and Mrs. I should say, starring Miz and Maryse. Season 3 is on the way, coming later this year. So not only is he a champion, but he's also a champion of television as well. We welcome to the program, The Miz. How are you, sir?
Thank you very much. And you know what I love? I love when you tell me a time. I come into the studio, I am there, and then we end up waiting for you. I'm staring at a blank chair for about 10 minutes, and you make me wait. You make me wait like you're a star. Like, you know, I'm sitting here like, what's going on? Like, are we good doing this or no? It's like, we're all waiting. We're waiting for Rosenberg. We're just waiting for him. We're just waiting for him and waiting for him. And then you show up and then I was like, oh, hey, where have you been? And you didn't even say anything to me. You literally just said, we're starting now. And then you started that everybody heard, but nobody heard the 10 minutes before where I'm just sitting here twiddling my thumbs, waiting for you to get to your studio, and you get to the studio and don't even say hi, and then literally introduce me.
I'm so sorry. I just want to apologize because that's not how I.
Now you want to apologize.
I do.
When we're off camera, you don't apologize. You're just like, hey, I'm the star here.
First of all, I am so sorry. I know I sincerely apologize, Miz. You've had a tremendous.
What were you doing? I want to know what you were doing.
Thank you, Miz. By the way, that needed to be said because I was waiting even longer than that.
The truth is, I changed the pants I was wearing. Okay.
Because we're all seeing your pants right now.
Well, no, but that's the thing. That's the level of respect I have for you. I was wearing
your pants. Is that what it is? You were so excited about seeing me and interviewing me that literally you couldn't contain yourself, and you went to the bathroom and went potty in your pants like my kids, and then you literally had to change them. Actually, my kids don't even do that. My kids don't even do that anymore. They're old enough to where they know, like, hey, yo, I got to use the restroom. I'm gonna go. But
is that what your kids say to you when it's time?
It's a pee-pee. Dad pee-pee.
Okay. It's not hey yo. By the way, hold on. You know what? I'm getting caught down a rabbit hole with you. I texted you the other day. You ignored me. You outright ignored me. No reply.
I probably don't even have your name in my.
But guess what? I'm pretty sure
fan that got my phone number or something.
Oh, does that happen a lot? Hold on. Let's see.
Text me.
Oh, and I said, it's Rosenberg BTW in case, because I know you're such a hot shot that you might not save me. So I said, it's Rosenberg, by the way. And here you go. See if this rings a bell.
Did you say it was Peter Rosenberg though?
That's true, Greg. I didn't. I said, hey, you happen to be up doing my podcast. We're talking about Woodstock 99, not my wrestling podcast. Oh, you do remember seeing it.
But I was with my kids. Like, I love Woodstock. Like, you don't understand. I went to Woodstock 99.
Of course I understand. That's why I asked you.
If you look at that VHS tape, by the way, you could see me in the mosh pits during like Kid Rock. And because I'm wearing yellow shorts and no shirt because I was,
because you were that guy.
It was Kid. By the way, I don't know if you remember this concert that Kid Rock put on. It was before he was famous. Like, it was like Ball with the Ball just hit. And the entire it
was his coming out party. It was his coming out party to the world. Yeah, that's by far I think his best moment in pop culture was that performance. He crushed it. All right, but
not only did he crush it, it was in the beginning of the day. It was like noon, and it was hot, and all of a sudden you just start hearing Ball with the Ball, the bang, and you know how it builds.
Yeah, and he came out in a fur coat, and it was like 110 degrees.
White fur coat, and all of a sudden pyro goes. Nobody sees the pyro because it's daylight. You don't see pyro during the daylight, but they didn't care. And all of a sudden you just say, my name is Kid Rock. And then literally the entire place just erupts for about an hour because it didn't stop. It didn't slow down. And not only that, he went to every instrument, played every instrument. Yep. He was doing things that nobody's ever seen done in concerts before. Now it's like everyone does it, but he started.
This is why it's sad that you ignored me the other day, because this is what I wanted to get from you. But it's okay. That's for another day. Let's talk about
how privileged are those people that they got to enjoy that performance with two WWE Hall of Famers.
What do you mean?
Future first ballot, of course.
You mean Kid Rock and The Miz?
Oh, right.
Well, that's a great point.
Those people.
Now that is a
I could name you like 20 bands that would just lit that place up. Like it was I know everyone says it got very negative like media, but when I was there, man, I never had so much fun in my entire life. I saw every band I ever wanted to see. Every band put out everything they possibly could. It was amazing.
So
anyway.
let's talk SGG. You mentioned Hall of Fame, and you have a program right now with a Hall of Famer in Edge. I want to ask you where this came from. Like, how did this Edge? Did you have visions of Miz and Edge from the second he came back? When did it start to sort of become a reality that this could be a thing that could happen?
It kind of came about because Edge was coming back, and I was like, "Oh, Edge is coming back. That'd be pretty amazing if he came back." Because I never get a good welcome home. Like it's always like, Miz is here, throw him in a match or something, and he'll make it great. But then with Edge, it was like they always give Edge the pyro, the welcome homecoming. Even if he's gone for like a month, it's like the guy was gone for a month, and literally everyone's going nuts because he's back. And I'm like, and I'm gone for like 4 months, the longest I've ever been gone. And I knew like if I came back, the fans weren't going to light the place on fire because they never do whenever I come back.
They don't appreciate you.
I was like, this is a perfect opportunity. Like Edge kind of said it and called me out on my stuff. Like he was like, look, you're trying to literally, you knew I was going to be a main event. You wanted to be in the main event and you took it and rolled with it. And I was like, yeah, you're kind of right, but I'm never going to admit that in front of like thousands of people in attendance and millions watching at home. I'll admit it here because no one's going to listen to this podcast.
So, that's right. You're saying it's a nowhere.
It's a safe space.
Now,
so that's how it came about. And then how like Maryse came about involved. Like,
did you go to him? Did you go to him first before you talked to Vince about it? Or what was do you remember the origin of how it happened? Because you have to also hope that he wants to do it, right? I
think was the one that kind of started the whole thing. Actually, I think it was one of the writers. It might have been Ryan Ward. I don't honestly know how it all came about, but when Edge's name came up, I lit up because I was like, we've only had one match before. Even in live events. Like we've always been on opposite shows, or we were both bad guys or both good. You know, it's like we never had a program and really never had a singles match except for the one champion versus champion match we had on Raw. And we both literally were like, yeah, we didn't even work in live events, like random live events. We didn't even work. So this was, it was just meant to be. It was like, oh, this is the chance to literally have Edge versus The Miz and really make it mean something and really do something that people are going to remember and talk about. And it's been great. It's been a lot of fun. Like we built up to having Beth come back where people want to see Beth get at Maryse. And now I think people want to see both Edge and Beth get at Miz and Maryse. But are they? Who knows? Because at Royal Rumble, we've been able to outmaneuver them, outwit them. And I think we'll be able to do it again. Like the thing that I feel like Maryse and I are very good at is that even if people are like, oh, well, you know, Edge and Beth are going to beat them, there's no doubt in my mind. We always will make you believe that we're going to beat because we'll find ways. We always find a way to win. Like the reason why I've had more championships than 90% of WWE superstars in WWE history is because I've been able to outsmart, outmaneuver, outstrategize superstars. And that sometimes means more than your brawn and how big you are and how fast you are and how athletic you are. Like I'm athletic. I can fight, but I can also outsmart you. It's like Brady. Like you look at Tom Brady right now, like, you know, I mean, he literally has been doing so amazing at just outsmarting, outmaneuvering, outdoing everybody, even though he lost last week. But I mean, you saw a comeback that no one can do.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say the same, sadly, for Baker Mayfield, you know?
No, thanks for that. I appreciate it. You know what? Baker was injured all year. You try to perform at 100% being injured. Like, that's very difficult. And so, you know, I look at it like this. We have another option on him for the 5th year. We're going to have him next year. Hopefully he'll be 100%, you know, ready to go. And I think we're going to see a different Baker Mayfield and a different Browns team. He reminds me of Brett Favre. Like, Favre had a million interceptions.
Yep.
But then he was an MVP.
That's right.
And so,
Super Bowl champion.
You know, maybe he's the same type of caliber of player. Like maybe one year it just happens and we go to the Super Bowl and we win.
We shall see, Miz. We shall see. I just wanted to troll you there. What you got, SGG? Sorry.
I can't believe we went this far without saying. First of all, happy birthday to your wife. Happy birthday to Maryse.
Thank you. It was ruined by Beth and Edge, but
yeah, that wasn't
like
right.
People, we got our money's worth. I feel like.
Yeah.
Now you touched on this a little bit, but where do you rank you and Maryse in terms of power couples in wrestling history?
Number one.
I feel like,
what are you kidding?
I feel like you guys don't get your respect though.
What would you think I would say? Oh, number 5. Yeah, we're number 5. You know, like there's Macho Man and Elizabeth. We beat them. You know, I mean, like there's Hunter and Steph. We beat them. You know what I mean? Like, there was, Cena and Bella, but we didn't beat them. But I felt like I
think you won it overall, though.
I think we won. We win overall, and then you look at other superstars and their wives. Like we're number one. Number one in my mind, always thick and thin. We have a hit reality show that people watch and actually love, and then we go out in WWE and people boo us. Like we have the ability to do whatever we want to do when we want to do it. How many superstars have that ability and can do that on a weekly basis, on numerous shows?
Are you ever surprised? I mean, come on, honestly, Maryse is talented, beautiful, multilingual, amazing human being. Are you ever surprised that the Mike Mizanin of 17 years ago, whenever it was, managed to pull Maryse at that moment in time?
I still can't. I still pinch myself every day. She is not only like hardworking and dedicated, but she challenges me and also supports me in the same sense. It's truly like I look at her and every day and I go, gosh, she's so good. Like she just gets better looking and it's not just physically, it's mentally, it's emotionally, like it's everything. Looking at our girls growing up, her as a mother, like she just impresses me every single day. And we were actually in the ring. We were training, like we were doing Ms. and Mrs. And we were training also for Maryse to get back in the ring. And she hasn't missed a step. Like she hasn't been in the ring in like 8 years. And we get in there and literally she's calling stuff to me. She's like doing moves that I'm like, well, you remember that? Oh, wow. Oh, okay. You're ready. Like I was nervous for her because she hasn't been back in 8 years or something like that. And she's going to Royal Rumble. There's gonna be like 50, 60,000 people in attendance. There's a lot of nerves and it's a big match, a big pay-per-view. And so I was nervous. And then once we trained for like an hour, I was like, after an hour, I was like, oh, she's ready. We're ready.
That's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then our little girls were there. They got to get in the ring and we were locking up with them. And it's just, it's amazing. Like you put the girls in the ring and they're just naturals.
I think Maryse was always fairly underrated. Like I always found, like I remember her vignettes when they first debuted her. I remember the whole thing, and then I remember when she started getting her real push, and I thought, yo, she's actually really interesting in ring. Do you think that being as objective as humanly possible, do you think people know like how talented Maryse is as a performer?
They don't. They never give her credit where honestly credit is due. She was one of the longest reigning Divas champions in the history of the company. Like there's only 2 people that held the title longer than she did, but she never gets that credit. And, she put on some stellar matches. And honestly, I think that whole generation doesn't get the credit that they deserve. They were able to go out there, get a character and get moves and matches. And they only get 2 minutes on TV time to get over, and being over as in like, having people applaud you or boo you or cheer you. They were given like 2 minutes to get that done. And sometimes not even that. And Maryse was able to not only get a character over, but have memorable matches, but also be lead the women, for that generation for a long time. And they don't get the credit that they deserve.
Well said.
So, I want to follow up my first tacky question with another tacky question. And the short version of this question is, what is your relationship with Vince McMahon? And the reason I want to ask is that I feel like in watching your career, you're sort of the measuring stick, right? Whether it's AJ Styles or Bad Bunny or anybody else, when they have to prove themselves, they have to go through the Miz. And I feel like that's indicative of something that fans don't really see or appreciate. And I just want see if you could speak to that a little bit.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. I never look at myself as a measuring stick, but you know, when AJ Styles first came in, like people are like, oh yeah, like, you know, it was me and him, and like he was so good, man. Like, you know, I knew right away. I was like, oh, he's going to be something like in WWE. And honestly, like people are like, oh, but it's AJ Styles, blah blah blah. You know how many people have come to WWE from other, you know, ventures or other companies and just did not become who everyone thought they were going to become. But I knew, like, I even knew Roman too. Like, I remember I would have like these promos where I would literally talk the entire promo for 15 minutes. I had to like memorize like 4 pages of just questions, and then I would do the answer, and then questions, and I would do the answer, and they wouldn't let people talk. And I would do this all the time. Anyone that they were thinking like, oh, they might not be able to talk, like they could talk. Like Roman can talk. Like obviously we're witnessing that right now. I mean, no one is hotter than Roman. But in the beginning, like it was like, I remember I would be like talk, and then he would just punch me and everyone would go nuts, and it would be incredible. And it was always fun. So yeah, I guess they would do that. And I don't know why. I guess I'm good at being a bad guy. Like I'm really good at getting people to hate me and be a real, genuine jerk. And like, even if you like me when I first come out, I guarantee I'm going to do something or say something that you're not going to like, and you're going to want to see me get my butt whooped. And that's my job. Like my job, and I think any bad guy's job, is to make sure that when you go out there, if they are cheering you, your job is to get them hating you, not loving you, not enjoying the moment. Oh, this is great. It's make them despise you so much that I want to see that guy whoop you. Now I might like you, but I still want you to be whooped. That's your job.
Now, speaking of which, there's another guy, a Jewish gentleman actually from Long Island, who's working in a different company right now, whose name gets tossed around a lot. MJF. And when people talk about him, the name, and again, Greg said measuring stick, the name that and he's a kid, he's 25 years old. When people compare him to someone, they say he could be The Miz. First of all, do you think?
I don't think he wants to be The Miz, to be honest. I don't think any superstar, no matter what company you are in, wants to be the next this person. You want to be an original. You want to be. Now, there's comparisons. I've always been compared to, I remember I was compared to Jericho for a while. I was compared to Ric Flair for a while, and I was like, oh my God, I don't even know how you can be compared to even I mean to either one of them. Like, I don't want to be compared. I want to be an originator. Now, you take things like when you're learning and coming up through the business, you see things that you like out of certain superstars, and you're like, ooh, I'm going to use maybe that. I'll take a sprinkle of that, sprinkle a little of that, sprinkle a little of that, as an homage to like those people or whatever. But in a sense, you want to be an original. And so I don't think he wants to be the next Miz. I think he wants to be the first him. And honestly, he's doing a great job at it.
Yeah, I agree. He's definitely
25 years old.
Yeah, I think he's 25.
25 years old. I was still in developmental at Deep South Wrestling and still learning the trade. Like I wasn't putting on matches on national television, putting it together memorable promos that people talk about. Like I wasn't doing that. So like that's just to applaud to him.
Now that being said, do you ever pinch yourself and go, when did I become the vet? Like you were the definition of an outsider.
That out. Like, when did I become the person that people are comparing me to and being like, oh, you're the next this person or this? I'm like, wait.
And also the guy who would pull someone aside and say, you used to be the ultimate outsider, a kid who dreamed of being a wrestler. Now you're actually one of the old school guys. You've been there for that long. That must be weird.
It's crazy. Like I'll sit there with like Dolph Ziggler and I'll be like, man, isn't this locker room and this just the catering, just the vibe, the aura backstage completely different than when we grew up. And even my wife, I'll talk to her about it too. Like, it's crazy. Like, just the thought of like certain things that, would go down, and it was normal. It was absolutely normal. But now it just doesn't happen that way anymore. And honestly, I like it. I was actually talking with some people that were down there or in that era. And it's just like, man, it's just so much nicer now. Like it's everyone's competing, but they're trying to make sure that we're putting together the best show possible and the best segments possible so things can be memorable. Now, will we fail? Sure, but are we doing our best to make sure that, there is something that you talk about each and every show? Absolutely.
You were like sort of the definition of the new guy. And of course, there were the famous stories about, you and I talked about this the first time I interviewed you after you won the Royal Rumble years ago, about you being asked to.
I never won the Royal Rumble, but thanks for your support.
WWE Championship.
Sorry, Money. No. Sorry, Money in the Bank when you got the briefcase. Sorry, and then won the title. Apologies. You never won the Rumble, huh?
Nah, never won that's like the one thing, that and King of the Ring. I think are the two that I haven't. I mean, I haven't won an Elimination Chamber. I have never been in. I don't know if I've been in a Hell in a Cell. I broke into a Hell in a Cell. I don't know.
Do you want to be in a Hell in a Cell though?
So those are a couple things that I haven't done. But for the most part, like, I've done everything I set out to do. Every goal that I've ever set out to do, I've done and then some. And sometimes I surprise myself and go, is this really like?
That's what I'm saying.
Really my career, like,
I mean, and from that kid who we talked about back in 2010, who prior to that had been asked to dress in the public bathroom, and you were, a reality TV guy. Oh my God! And then the other day, you and I had a conversation where you were saying how you and Randy are now like two of the vets, right? Randy having the exact opposite life of you, born and bred in the business. Totally comfortable, like as comfortable with this as you could be. And then you're a complete outsider. Is it weird that you guys are sort of now the same and you're just a classic? You are from kind of the last generation of when the business still felt old school somewhat.
Yeah, I mean, there's a handful of people that were there, that are still here. Kofi, Dolph, myself, Randy,
Sheamus.
Been full-time, superstars. I mean, Edge is obviously there as well. But he comes and goes. But honestly, man, I'll tell you what, this thing with you talk about Randy, no one I think is better in the ring technically than Randy Orton. Like, just his maneuvers and the things that the moves, and it's the in-betweens on what he does in his moves that really set him apart from everybody else. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if people, I think everyone notices it. But for a person as a WWE superstar that's done this for such a long time, to see the level that he just keeps elevating and keep going higher and higher, and it's pretty incredible. And then getting to work with, like, I've worked with Randy many times. Like, I think my WWE Championship, my first reign, I got to really learn from him and John Cena, and it was just, I mean, you couldn't ask for two better people to learn from in that era at that time to really guide me, focus me, and get me to where I needed to be and show me what it takes to be a main eventer in WWE. And then you bring it all the way to now where I'm going up against a person like Edge. I never got to really get in the ring with Edge, but now getting in the ring with him, I'm seeing, like, my God, like, the way how he paces himself, how he's able to be so creative and innovative, even at the age that he's at right now. I mean, people would be like, oh, he's old. He's not old. Honestly, I think he's in his prime. I think he's literally never been better. I think he's never been more healthy. I think he's been, especially with him and Beth. When Beth took off her jacket, I was like, oh my God, she's jacked. You see a person with a jacket on, you're like, okay, yeah, they look good. They're great. She took her jacket off and went, oh my God, like, she's gonna kill me. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, geez, like, they've just been training nonstop, but we've been training as well. I think this is going to be a match that people are, I mean, usually people with the Royal Rumble, you talk about the Rumble, right? That's what people talk about after the Rumble. I honestly believe that our match is going to be the one that's going to be talked about after Rumble.
Well, hey, I would doubt you, but SGG, you'll agree with me. You stole that night of WrestleMania with Bad Bunny.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard to argue. Like, that was maybe that surpassed expectations for me as much as a WrestleMania match could. Were you
like, I remember watching Bad Bunny train, right? And as I was watching him train, I was like, they're training him, they're giving him all the stuff, but I need to get in there with him. I have to get in there with him. So, like, while he was training backstage, I would get in there with him. And I remember the first time I got in there with him, I didn't call anything. I literally just, got in, locked up and just started having a match with him to see where he was, how he, and honestly, he was training so hard before this, by the way. And I was like, I just need to get in there, and I probably beat him up, not beat him up, but like put some heat to him, did some things. And I was like, oh, this guy's going to be able to do something. And then he kept training and kept training and kept training and kept giving ideas that were like, not dumb idea. Like sometimes when people come in, they're like, well, I want to do this and this and this and this. It's like, all right, slow down, buddy. All right. But not with him. Like he was smart. You could tell he was a fan and that he knew psychology and why certain things were. And I was honestly, after we were done with that match, I was like, this guy can do anything. Like if he wants to get an Oscar for acting, like I think he can do it. If he wants to get Grammys, which he already has, and if he wants to do anything, I think he can do it, because that's the dedication he puts in everything. And his attention to detail was so great. He was just very impressive. And I think the best compliment that we got, John and I, Morrison and I got, were like he said that he watches that match back more than he watches any concert he's ever done. And I was like, wow. That's pretty great.
And by the way, and we got to give props to Morrison too, who I don't know how much he's talked about it since, but like he was beat up at the time at that match.
No one knew that Morrison's knee, like, so that during that whole program, Morrison, he busted his knee against a Riddle. He did something off the top rope and landed on his knee wrong. I think he tore his MCL. And so he wasn't supposed to be back for Mania. Like they were like, that's going to cut it close, but he dedicated himself. He got, I think he got like stem cells or whatever. Like he was just doing everything that you were supposed to do to make sure that he could come back for that match. And then to literally do a Canadian destroyer with Bad Bunny. I was like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? Like, you're absolutely nuts. And it was raining, if you remember.
That's right.
Like, you remember, it was raining. So while Bad Bunny was coming out, I had everyone on the outside with towels scrubbing down where Morrison was going to do this maneuver. Him and Bunny were going to do this maneuver, because it's a dangerous move, especially in the rain. Like, and it's slippery, like it's crazy. So I was like having them wash off the, like no one knew this, no one sees it, but I had a towel and I was in the ring, like literally scrubbing the ropes, because I knew we were going to be utilizing jumping off the ropes. You slip, you fall, you're done, Wow. It could ruin the match. So, and then, and then Bad Bunny feeling the audience and knowing what to do with the audience. Like, I think he did something. He punched me and he did like I don't know if he was like, awesome. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. He's ready. Let's go.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah, man. He was incorporating just his personality and just, man, I was very thankful for having him, because we were getting like, in a lot of our fans were like, what's Bunny doing here? Like,
that was ridiculous.
I was like, oh my God, you guys don't understand. Like, you just don't get it. Like, I was getting media that I don't normally get. Like WWE, we get tons of media, but there's still media that we have to fight for and get. And people were calling us, asking us like, hey, Billboard wants to interview with you. This person wants to be this one and this one. And I was like, and then there were big things that I was like, oh, wow. Okay. We're getting all this stuff because Bad Bunny has a huge, huge audience. Like, well, so it was, I was very thankful to be even part of it. And then for him to be the person that he is made it even that much better.
Yeah. And you mentioned this too, just now, with the fans trying to sort of gatekeep Bad Bunny. I think this is not even a question of this. You just made me, it feels it needs to be said that it's just sad that, especially with a guy like you, when you came in, they tried to gatekeep you as the reality guy who doesn't belong. Fast forward, coincidentally, you're the guy in the ring with Bad Bunny, and they try to gatekeep him as the music guy. He doesn't belong. And if fans got their way, we would have robbed of some great moments, because just in terms of that match.
And if you listen to that audience, when he, like, I told Morrison, we're going to do baby faces. Like, we're going to be good guys. Like, he's a celebrity. Like, anytime you have a celebrity, our fans are going to boo him. Our live audience is going to boo him. And so I was prepared for that. I was like, all right, I was literally going through my brain trying
What
to
you
figure
do.
out, okay, if this happens, we come out, we do our rap, it's stupid, but in a cool kind of stupid way. Like we're rapping, we're doing this thing. We made fun of him. We tore apart his Bugatti, which was a real Bugatti, and that was real paint. Like that car is really expensive. And Bunny let us do it. Like I was shocked. I was like, oh my God, this guy is in. And then when he made his entrance at Mania, I don't know if you heard it, but oh my God, it was an eruption of cheers. It wasn't boos, it was cheers. They wanted to see him. They were yearning to see him. I was like, this is amazing that you couldn't ask for a better entrance and a better live crowd reaction.
Yeah, I agree. But I had one of those moments because it was a limited crowd last year, and when it happened, I remember the feeling of hearing it. It was like, oh my God, this is the first real crowd sound I've heard post pandemic.
We were late in that show, I believe. Like we were really late, like far into the show.
Yeah, and it was
a very difficult, spot in the crowd, like to get the crowd up again. Because the crowd goes in waves, and it's your job to get them up.
Hey, listen, we look forward to seeing this big mixed tag match on Saturday at the Royal Rumble. And I apologize deeply for being late today, Miz. Thank you for being here.
And I apologize deeply to Edge and Beth because they're not going to do so well. And Maryse and I are ready. We are prepared. And we're just going to whoop them. We're going to win. It's what we do. Like whether you believe it or not. A lot of times when people are like, oh, he's saying he's going to win. There's no way he's going to win now. Dude, I've said this a million times. When I said I was going to beat Drew McIntyre when nobody could beat Drew McIntyre, I beat Drew McIntyre and I found a way. I always find a way to win. Always. 100% of the time. So I'm going to win. Maryse is going to win. We're winners.
You don't want to apologize for all your reality TV hate that you've had over the years.
Well, no, I don't mind it because I got a hit reality show now.
Yeah,
I get slandered. I get
right now, and honestly, it's freaking awesome. Like this third season is so much fun because you not only see Dancing with the Stars and WWE, but you get to see the girls growing up. Like my girls are 2.5 and 3. Oh, Monroe's almost 4 now. So it's like you get to watch, like Monroe was born on this show. Like she was like in season 1 and now we're in season 3 and it's
SGG. That's your dream. A child born in reality television. That's Greg's dream. Hey, Miz, we'll see you this weekend. Good luck against Edge and Beth.
You got it.
You don't need it. You don't need it, but I'll send some good luck your way anyway.
No need to luck when you're this good. Later, boys.
Later.